I don't know what that was. What was that? Hey, what is going on, crypto people? Happy freaking Thursday. It's Talk That Talk Thursday. By the way, we'll get into a little, maybe we'll get a little stuff. Elon's talking about auditing the IRS. Maybe we'll do a little Talk That Talk Thursday. But listen, XRP is going to print some millionaires. This comes from my guy, the GOAT in the digital asset space, the modern investor. The modern investor said XRP is going to print some millionaires. What say you? What say you about that? I tend to agree. I tend to agree. I hope you guys are doing well. Again, happy Thursday. Do me a favor and hit that like button on the way in. That would be really, really awesome. We'd like to have just as many likes as we got viewers in the stream. And again, if you happen to be in that 55% or so of people that are hanging out, listen to and watching the CryptoCeej, do me a favor. If you've been enjoying those hangouts, please consider subscribing to the channel. We're in a mad goal to get to 9,000 subs by the end of this month. And I know we can get there, especially with your help. So listen, we're going to go with the numbers because the market is doing what the market does. Look, I was watching a video this morning about the big time 40, 50, 60, 70% retrace in the AI agent space. Now that is a big time buying deal. That's a big time buying deal right there. I'm going to have to get some more, had to add to some positions there. Maybe take one new position, probably in ARC. Maybe we'll do that. But in any case, yeah, we'll go with the market. We'll go with the numbers because the market is doing what it does. We'll share some stuff on X that I didn't cover in the video that I did yesterday. I didn't get the live stream yesterday. I only got a recorded video done, but here I am. What's going on, Ann, Ohio Patriot? How are you, bro? Greetings, millionaires. Indeed, indeed. So Ondu Finance got some interesting announcement. Very interesting announcements. I just discovered one interestingly today. Yeah. And I think David Schwartz is at the Ondu Summit at the moment. He posted about it. It's interesting that he's going to be there at the Ondu Summit. David Schwartz of Ripple is going to be there. We all know about them hooking up together. So it's interesting to talk about that as well. Maybe we'll cover that on the stream, Ohio Patriot. Maybe we'll cover that on the stream. I say, why not, right? Why not cover that on the stream? We're going to wait for a couple more people to join in before I go over the numbers. My boys had a great win yesterday. Nice college basketball win. 15, I think they're on a 15-game winning streak. That's pretty cool. 15-game winning streak. I've been getting back into Madden, man. I don't know why. I don't know why. Every now and then I just get back for a couple months, 3 months or so, then I'm back to my usual stuff. But in any case, appreciate you guys being here. Again, happy Thursday to each and every one of you. Let me refresh CoinGecko, make sure that is up and running correct. Bitcoin is around, Bitcoin's below 97. If I refresh it, I'll make sure that's correct. Below 97? Let's see. I bought some BTC the other day. Yep, it's below 97. So we'll cover that as well. Ooh, I need XRP below 230, I think, to get some more XRP. Yeah, we'll cover those numbers for sure, man. Crazy, crazy times, man. It is crazy. Ondu. This Ondu news is this Ondu news is interesting to me, man. I gotta tell you. It's interesting to me to see this Ondu make this move. They're calling themselves Ondu Finance. Right now their products, not really available for the average everyday Joe, or should I say the everyday average Joe and Jane. Not really available. And I think they're moving to change that. And I'm going to share an announcement that I thought was interesting. Very, very interesting. So we'll see how that's going to work. I don't know who's going to be interested in owning those products, but maybe as a little diversification, say maybe you don't have to, maybe it's some tax move or something like that. But they're partnering with Ripple to bring one of their products onto the XRPL. But they're making Ondu itself is making a very, very interesting move. It's very, very interesting. Anyway, let me do this. I know people are probably hopping on that summit. Let's see if we can pull a summit up. Uh, let's see if we can pull that summit up. Undo Summit has arrived, bringing together the most influential names in TradFi blockchain. It says broadcasting live on X. So where is it? There it is right here. Now, is this the one where all right, is this the one where what's his name? Uh Bill Hemmon? Is this the one where Bill Hemmon's supposed to be at? Is supposed to be there as well with David Schwartz? I think it is. I think it is.
I think what you'll see is this shift from just narrative to utility. Because at one point, you can't have 55 L1s, the narrative all sounds the same. And that's why, quite frankly, the originals have kept their value better than the newbies. Because the originals were able to distribute much wider earlier because there wasn't as much competition. And I think community will still be a big part of valuation, but you're gonna see utility have to be part of it.
I think that's a great place to leave it. Thank you.
You gotta give him, I talked too much.
Well, I just want to do one little code on Mike's thing. The reason I'm so passionate about investing in blockchain is, Mike and I have traded all kinds of crazy things for 40 years, and some things like dollar yen's not even moved. It's the same place it's been the whole time we've been talking about it. Blockchain is the most inevitable trade I have ever seen. All these things will happen. It will disrupt all of these. And even the IoT thing, we were early, that was a little.
So anyway, there it is. Speakers, Dan, is that really? Oh, okay, never mind. Justin US. All right, so we got those guys on. We'll tune into when they have David Schwartz and the boy Bill Hinman on. We'll tune into that. All right, fam, let's go with these numbers real quick. According to CoinGecko, the total cryptocurrency market cap is down 3.5% and is at 3.26 trillion. Bitcoin dominance is roughly 59%. Bitcoin is trading under $97,000 now at $96,718. Under 30 days, it's down a percentage point. Ethereum is trading at $2,700 approximately under 30-day. Ethereum is down 22%. XRP is trading at $2.33. It's down 0.5% on the 30, up 0.5% on the 30 day. Solana is trading at $190, down 8% on the 30-day. Dogecoin, it's 4 for $1, trading at 24.9 cents. It's down 32% on the 30-day. And what do we got? The beloved we is trading at $3.20. And on the 30-day, it's down 35%. For me, I got to decide if I'm going to add and get more sweet. I wish I could get it under $3. That would be awesome, but I'm not sure if we'll get under 3. And I hope I didn't miss under 3. I think I did. I think a few days ago it was $2.98. But anyway, still looking at Hedera hash graph, still looking at personally the CryptoCeej home, still looking at Chainlink. Still considering, it's under $20 now, still considering that move. I don't know if it's worth it if you're not going to do at least $500. But that's the market. I think I would be better off just adding 2 positions, like the project that we're getting ready to talk about, and just adding to that position as opposed to taking a new one in Chainlink and Hedera Hashgraph. Hedera has my brain spinning. It just has the brain spinning right there. 8 billion market cap. Andu's only 1 billion. Andu is trading over $1. It's just it's an interesting tokenomics deal. Andu is RWAs, Hedera is a lot of different things. I don't know. A lot of people put HBAR in there with the, not just US tokens, but other stuff as well. So The dilemma, I only have a few $100 left, so I don't know. I only got like $700 left, so I don't know. Of that dirty, nasty fiat left, so I don't know. I don't know. We'll have to see. It just breaks my heart to consider I lost all my stellar lumens, so I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. But that's the market, fam. And I always talk out loud. Forgive me for talking out loud. But that's the market, and it is doing what the market does. Virtuals is looking like a good entry now. Um, More fair, reasonable price. I think they're going to be the one in AI. Yeah, I'm going to add to my virtuals protocol, AI agent protocol play here with virtuals. But that's the market, family. It is doing what the market does. What's going on, XRP gal? How are you, miss? Appreciate you checking in. Hydro's in the building. Hey, CJ, should we scoop up Ondu? Well, listen, I already have a position. You guys know that. Um, it kind of feels like it, doesn't it? I mean, big announcement today. Let's see, did Ondu move any in with this announcement? We're going to share some of that stuff. Did it move any with that announcement? No, not really. No, not really. Hydro, I should probably uh add to the position, not financial advice, but I was thinking about it. Man, should I just add? Uh, are they going to get more utility for this token? It's not really a lot of utility for the token that I see right now, but the big announcement might change that. Hydro, the big announcement. Let me see something here, right? And we may have to make a purchase while we're on the stream. Add to position. I have to add to the position. I only got like $700 left though. Broke up in this joint. All right, let's see. Let's see this market. Uh, yeah. I hate that it's Ethereum only right now, but it ain't gonna matter when you hear about the announcement, baby. Look at that. It's nearly 40% down from its all-time high. It just feels like a good price, doesn't it? We were in this thing, pretty early. $1.30. Yeah. Yeah, it's looking strong. Let's go over this announcement. Look at this chart here. Ranging between. I can't wait for this thing to get. I gotta find liquidity pools for Ondu, man. I can't find any. Just over $1. I mean, that's just a nice. That would be a great liquidity pool to enter in, man. I have to check out DeFi Llama, see if we can't find a liquidity pool. All right, so guys, appreciate you guys checking in. Do me a favor, hit that like button. Let's go over some very, very interesting news with Ondu, man. I mean, I was like, what? And say what? And they got a summit going on. They probably mentioned that announcement during the summit. Hydro, did you hear the big news about Ondu? Right. Well, okay. What we got going on here? So let's go over this real quick. So Ondu Finance says we are bringing the OUSG to the XRP ledger with Ripple. Remember, we covered this a few days ago. OUSG is an institutional grade product backed by tokenized treasuries and BlackRock's Biddle Fund. It represents a natural fit for a blockchain purpose built for institutional adoption. See how Ondu and Ripple are powering institutional grade finance on chain. Right. So they're bringing something to the XRPL. I thought that was interesting. I thought that was fascinating. They're going to come out of their pockets each to see this. Right. Makes sense. Then we've got the announcement about David Schwartz going to be it says featured speaker at the summit that they're holding. Following today's announcement with Ripple, we are thrilled to share our next Ondu Summit featured speaker, David Schwartz, CTO at Ripple, and one of the original architects of the XRP ledger. In 2023, David declared that real-world asset tokenization will drive the blockchain economy, a belief we deeply share at Ondu, and one that fuels our vision to revolutionize Wall Street. Okay, so let's go to Ondu here real quick, because this is an interesting announcement, Hydro. This is an interesting announcement. says here, Ripple, Chainlink, Block Damon, and Uniswap are all on stage at the Ondu Summit. Are they on stage now? So they must be on stage now. We'll go over that, but let me share this interesting announcement. That was earlier today. There was an announcement. Where is it? This is all here it is right here. This is interesting to me. This is interesting. They didn't announce this at the summit. Ondu Finance. Today, let me make sure I get this big enough so you guys can see as well. Today, we're thrilled to announce Ondo Chain. Ondo, our new layer 1 blockchain purpose-built for institutional grade RWAs. Isn't that what the XRPL is working on? Isn't that the goal, purpose, mission? Ondo Chain. What the world? Design advisors for the chain include new members of the Ondo ecosystem. Design advisors. So Franklin Templeton, Wellington Management, Wisdom Tree, Google Cloud, ABM, Amro, Aon, and McKinsey. The Ondo ecosystem already includes notable industry leaders. This is BlackRock, PayPal, Morgan Stanley. So there's an Ondo chain now, bro. There's a chain. Then they got their own token. What are they going to be using for what I'm seeing is Ondo token. That was the only thing that was available to us regular folks. Is going to have some use case utility to it now. Let's read on and see if they even mention that. Over the past year, as we built Ondo Global Markets, our platform for tokenized securities, we realized that today's public blockchains lack the features necessary for regulated assets to thrive on chain at scale. So they're going to be doing the same thing as Ripple. For tokenized RWAs to fulfill their potential, we need infrastructure that enables large-scale institutional adoption while maintaining the open access that makes blockchains powerful. This requires addressing 5 key challenges. Incompatibility with DeFi. Yeah, no crap. Public securities have unique requirements, including corporate actions like stock splits, dividend distributions, that DeFi smart contracts are not designed for. Oracles must also support large-scale reliable data feeds across thousands of assets. Cross-chain liquidity fragmentation is the other issue. Tokenized RWAs need to be issued across multiple chains. Issuing these assets compliantly and managing liquidity across chains takes significant resources. Cool. Ripple's just makes me seeing Ondo Finance build out an Ondo chain says to me that Ripple is 1000% on course and significantly ahead of an Ondo chain. Look, I hope an Ondo chain does well, and I hope that the Ondo token gets some utility, but it definitely proves out to me that Ripple's a little bit ahead of the game on this, maybe even a lot ahead. High and volatile transaction fees. On many blockchains, gas fees are paid in volatile native tokens. Making costs unpredictable. That's an interesting thing. So that's interesting. So again, they have an Ondo token and they're talking about gas fees. Like, what are they saying here? Are they going to use their they're going to use their USDY as the gas fee token? I don't know, but I don't know how they're going to address that. Inadequate network and protocol security, institutional regulatory concerns. So is this the same article again? No. Unlike public chains, it is purpose-built for DeFi integrated tokenized assets, prevents front running, says it prevents front running via permissioned validators and allows gas fees in RWAs for better UX. Allows the gas fee in an RWA. Interesting. Institutional grade security via RWAs, permission validators. institutional network connectivity. How are they getting that done? A subset of these validators will be run by financial institutions, allowing seamless connectivity to TradFi networks. Yeah, I can see Franklin Templeton getting into the validator space with this. This reduces latency. Interesting. Scalable and secure data feeds. Yeah, how so are they doing that? On-chain validators will act as enshrined oracles. What? On-chain validators are going to work as enshrined oracles. Interesting. It's interesting. Native omni-chain messaging and bridging. Ondo chain natively incorporates the Ondo bridge. Primary security will be provided by the Ondo chain validators that run their own decentralized variable. Where have I heard that phrase before? Decentralized verifier network, DVNs. Where did we hear the DVN thing before? Was that Axelar? Anyway, with additional DVNs used at higher transactions amount, on-chain will make it easy for developers to create natively omni-chain apps by acting as the source of truth. Interesting. Enshrine proof of reserve and collateral. Interesting. Native DeFi support for RWAs. RWAs will have full native support across borrowing, lending, and staking. What the? Institutional grade governance. Governance will be decentralized with key financial institutions acting as permission validators. Wow. Okay, that's interesting. It says the tight coupling between TradFi and DeFi that Ondo Chains creates will enable many use cases, including prime brokerage with cross-collateralized margin for RWAs and crypto, staking and collateralization of tokenized assets for security and yield, and on-chain wealth management with 24/7 portfolio rebalancing. What the freak? It's a public chain. I mean, this is going to be uh this is interesting, Hydro. Guys, do me a favor, hit that like button on the way in. That'd be super, super cool. If you didn't get a chance to do so, no worries. Just collapse the chat real quick. Go back and smash the like button, then come back and hang out with the CryptoCeej. And fam, I appreciate you guys being here for sure. This is interesting to me. Hydro, share with us what your thoughts are about this Ondo chain, right? And so they're bringing their product to the XRPL. I mean, which is cool, but they got their own chain, just doing the same. I see it as the same thing that Ripple is looking to do. Tell me what your thoughts are on that, Hydro. That's interesting to me. Yeah, I got to make a purchase, man. And I'm not making, yeah, I got to add to the position. Let's see. And what did I get mine? Coinbase last time? Let's see the market here. No DEXs. And I guess that's going to change. That's going to change. If they got their own chain, they're going to be, DEX is going to be able to participate here. So you got Bybit, you got Coinbase, you got KuCoin. Well, you don't have KuCoin. US is out, baby. That spread is ridiculous at Coinbase. So you got to look at the spread difference. I mean, it's 5 times bigger spread on Coinbase than Bybit for all you international people. And then you got to look at the withdrawal fee, right? Because you got to look at the withdrawal fee because you want to put it in self-custody. So you can just go to these 2 places and then see what it's like to withdraw. And it'll tell you how many Ondo you need to withdraw. And so sometimes, even though the spread is higher, the cost of withdrawing is cheaper, and you can do it that way. So, but this is on Ethereum, and so you have to note that as well. But yeah, yeah, my initial thing would be Bybit, and maybe you can even use the Bybit. I have not used the Bybit wallet extension or the BitGet wallet extension, and I feel like it's a way to kind of work around limitations for retail investors. I feel like that, but yeah, those are the places to get it. Interesting, very, very interesting. Let's see if we can catch David in this summit here, guys, real quick. Then I'm going to cover the GOAT of the XRP content creators. Um,
that could happen, or that assets are actually completely at risk. They're not going to engage in the technology. And so the game that we like to play in crypto, the math, the coding and chances and statistics, 99.99% is acceptable. It's not acceptable for a TradFi, right? And so I think that's something we need to learn and understand.
what?
Yeah, so in the tokenization use cases, I think the money market funds are experiencing an unexpected level of success because they diversify risk. If you are in crypto land, then you look at things like Terra and why they fail, because they have lots of exposure to crypto stuff, right? Highly speculative crypto stuff. So it turns out that diversification is like a basic common sense thing that still happens and is useful on blockchains. So if you have a bunch of crypto stuff, maybe you want some non-crypto stuff on a blockchain. What's the most non-crypto thing you can think of? US Treasuries, right? So, here's a US Treasury on chain and it gets adoption and diversifies your risk and gives you, and also, well, depending on the one you have, gives you certain amounts of yield. The second thing I think is stuff you couldn't own before. So you couldn't own a private equity fund. You couldn't own a piece of real estate. You couldn't have fractional ownership of revenue from an art auction. You couldn't have, you couldn't experience ownership of something. That second thing I think is gonna start going somewhere right about now, and that varies by geography because different geographies vary. Real estate versus commodities versus different owning different things that they want to own but couldn't own, and there's pent up demand for that ownership. And then the third category that I'm really excited about is getting me yield on things I can't get yield on, right? So let's say the very smart DeFi people in flip-flops are able to generate yield on the thing that the people in institutional suits couldn't, right? Like, let's say I can get yield on gold, right? That's pretty interesting, isn't it? So I think that the DeFi people that figure out how to create yield out of traditionally non-yield bearing assets are going to be super successful people. Like some of the most successful stuff will be that. For that, you kind of do need this composable ecosystem where you can start building stuff around the asset to try and do experiments.
We just want to hear David.
How can I make yield happen out of this traditionally non-yield bearing thing? But I think someone's going to figure that out. And like when you start getting yield on things that didn't give you yield, like imagine you get yield on your home equity. Imagine you get yield on gold. That's interesting. That's an actual financial innovation that would really benefit people and maybe even the markets, depending on how much short selling it results in. But that's a whole other question. But yeah, that's what I.
Just wanted to say anything?
Yeah, I was just going to add, I think one way that I like to think about what Sergey was just describing is that today's markets, if you think of things that can be traded, they're like kinetic energy in the context of the financial system. And there's so much potential energy that isn't converted into kinetic energy just because of the way that markets work and what can be deposited in the market or exchanged in the market. And so if we have much more flexible infrastructure and tokenization allows you to then turn more of that potential energy and value, whether they're natural resources reserves or bringing on-chain yield in different forms to different users around the world who can't access it today, we should have just so much more equivalent of that kinetic energy and realize liquid value. So what does that mean? I think that TradFi, you should be identifying what you think the use cases are. What are your business problems? What do you need solved? And then be sharing that as like requirements and needs with the universe of open source and public developers, as well as private companies that have a specific focus. Because part of the benefit of the permissionless and public blockchain innovation that Sergey was talking about is that you could put out a blog post and just say, hi, we're a financial institution. Here's some of the problems that we're trying to solve at a level that you're comfortable sharing publicly. And people will start to try to innovate to solve them. And that's a new approach to innovation. I think a major step forward for financial institutions in the past several years is accepting public blockchains and realizing that you can have your own compliance requirements and security standards met on the same foundation of public innovation. It doesn't mean that you have to opt into the exact same standards as all of the participants on those blockchains or protocols. So I would just invite you to say what problems you need to solve, what use cases you need, and I think you'll see a lot of people start to rush after them. In that context, I'm excited about all the things that we talked about: money market funds, payments, on-chain yield from new forms of from new assets that don't generate today. But I think if you look at even just the money market funds that are being launched today, they're being structured in different ways. They have different fund jurisdictions. They have different ways that they treat distributions and withdrawals and redemptions. And so you see that each of those examples, it may feel competitive, it may feel crowded, but I think the proliferation of those will help us come to a standard faster. And so we'll end up with something that gets you something, we'll end up with tokenized products that get faster towards something that's more like on-chain real-time yield, on-chain real-time pricing, which is the ultimate innovation, as opposed to just trying to serve a set of users who today are on-chain and you want them to buy your money market fund, but they're still gonna only be able to redeem in a multi-hour window, right? So the point I'm trying to make is like, don't overthink what is your specific use case, like just kind of put it out there. And I think we're gonna see a lot of convergence over the next couple of years and a few different standards.
Yeah, those are all building blocks as well, right? Once you have that, you can build things on top of it, which makes it compostable and open. So leads me to my next question. In DeFi, we're seeing decentralized alternatives to capital markets. We have lending, borrowing, and derivatives. What changes do you expect in the future of traditional capital markets as DeFi continues to develop? Anyone want to jump in there?
I mean, they're gonna be more accessible, they're gonna be open 24/7, I mean, well, all the obvious stuff.
What was the question?
In DeFi, we're seeing centralized,
Okay.
decentralized alternatives to capital markets.
David's not talking a whole lot there, so he's not talking a whole lot there, Hydro. Let me see. Did you share your thoughts on what do you think about this Ondu chain? What's going on, Rick DeCisnero? Hydro says, oh, okay. You said this is the first time I heard this about the Ondu chain. Yeah. Hydro says, darn, I sold my VEE a month ago and I bought early. Which VEE are you talking about? That sounds like Gary Vaynerchuk's stuff. Which VEE are you talking about, bro? Rick Cisnero says, CJ, every big investment company is at that conference, including BlackRock and Fidelity. Indeed. Yes, indeed. What's going on, Michael Angelos? Appreciate you checking in. Mike says, just added Block V and ZBAT, never heard of them, to my portfolio. Never heard of those. Wish I had more funds to get onto. Yeah, it's just interesting that they're doing this chain. I mean, you know, they're working with the likes of Franklin Templeton and BlackRock in a lot of ways. What's going on, Legendary? How are you, bro? Appreciate you checking in. So again, the Ondu chain thing, I think that's fascinating to me. Like that they're building their own chain is fascinating. And, you know, going through that long thread from Ondu, that's not TradFi talking. That's DeFi speak that they're talking there. Coming out of Ondu Finance. So that's very interesting to me. I mean, do they become the Aave for RWAs? Maybe that's it. Maybe they, Hydro, maybe they become the Aave for RWAs. But it feels like this chain is the same thing that Ripple was building out. That's what it seems like to me. And so, so the XRPL is being built out that way, right? Okay, Hydro says Block V is Velo and Stronghold. I have I don't have any stronghold tokens, but are you talking about those two are together and created this block V? Contact Fu is here. What's going on, bro? 100%, right? So, you know, is that what they're doing? So, you know, so that is that what it is? But isn't the XRPL being built out for this? They're announcing an Ondu chain. I don't know when the Ondu chain is launching. Brooklyn Harball's in the building. What's going on, bro? Block V is the co-founder of Tether. That's interesting. Interesting. Contact Fu says 100%. So, yeah, look, you know, we have Ondu. You know, in this dollar range seems pretty interesting, doesn't it? It does feel really interesting. I would have thought there'd have been more movement on the Ondu token because of the Ondu chain. But from reading that thread, they're talking about using RWAs as the gas fee. So that's going to be what? US, OU, whatever. Is that what it's going to be? All right, let me cover this quick thing here from the Modern Investor on XRP. It says XRP is going to make a lot of people who paid attention into millionaires. It's December 30th. He did a video about this XRP price prediction will change your life. You're going to love holding XRP in 2025. So he's reiterating that. I think the Modern Investor is the GOAT of the XRP content creators for sure. He's been doing it for a minute. He's got 2 hugely successful YouTube channels. The Modern Investor, TMI, as we all know him. Yeah. Interesting dude. I think it's the GOAT for content creators in crypto. Probably, I mean, just kind of been doing it for a long while. But he was the first, once he got his head around XRP, to really promote it, defend it, you know, that type of deal. Once he got his head around it. Because in the beginning, I don't think he did. But yeah, I agree with him. It's going to print millionaires. XRP is making, the XRP ledger is going to be doing some stuff. I'm just fascinated by this Ondu chain right now. I got to be honest with you. Fascinated by what they're doing. And it feels like adding to it as opposed to taking new positions somewhere is probably a smarter move. I want to cover this real quick because I think this is important. We were all affected by Operation Choke Point 2.0, and some more so than others. But listen, they are on this Operation Choke Point 2.0, new administration. Both Senator Lummis and this dude here are talking flat, straight out about holding those people who participated in Operation Choke Point 2.0 accountable. Now, what's that going to look like? Are they going to really follow through on it? I don't know. But this is the public hearing. So I'm going to share this little 23 seconds, but I think it's important. Metal Lawman shared it. It says, a fantastic day. Hope you're doing well, Metal Lawman. We appreciate you, my friend. A fantastic day for the crypto industry at the banking GOP Senate hearing. My former law partner, Stephen Gannon, absolutely knocked it out of the park. We must have accountability for those responsible for Operation Choke Point 2.0 and real remedies, listen to this, real remedies for the victims. Well, how are you going to do that? Well, how do you get a remedy, right? So a lot of these blockchain companies like, yep, got debanked. A lot of CEOs, yep, got debanked. Like, what's the remedy? I don't. So you know, you had to go find another bank, but you know, what's the remedy? What about the ones that Operation Choke Point, the Silvergate and SVB, those banks that closed down that weren't insolvent, that were not insolvent? I'm sure they're getting really excited about this. I don't know how do you rebound? You've been shut down. You've been out of operation for months over months. But maybe they would be excited to hear about this.
Point 2.0. But despite the best efforts of Congress, the spirit of Operation Choke Point 1.0 did not end in 2017. It simply morphed into Operation Choke Point 2.0. Mr. Chairman, history teaches us that if this time there is no real accountability and no genuine remedies for the actual damage done, one thing is certain: there will be an Operation Choke Point 3.0. Thank you.
Senator Lummis posted about this as well. Now, she says that the subcommittee is going to do something about it, but again, people like to talk. But the fact that they're talking about it, I mean, they had a congressional hearing about Operation Choke Point 1.0, and nothing was done like he's stating there. So let me see if I have Senator Lummis. Yep, here it is right here. We'll see. I mean, today, the Banking Committee discovered the first indisputable evidence of Operation Choke Point 2.0. She says to Senator Lummis, rest assured, the subcommittee on digital assets will find those responsible and hold them accountable. That's what she says. I'll believe it when I see it, is what I say. I'll believe it when I see it. So we'll see. Ball Silverback is like, so the entire committee should be replaced, and Warren and Waters should be immediately removed from any and all committees permanently. No shot. I mean, that would be nice, but there's no shot of that happening. None. No, they're too powerful. They're mainstays. It's like, and then the fellow members got to vote to have that happen, I'm sure, unless the president can do something about it. That is for the Patreon. All right, I shared that with you guys. Share the Modern Investor. I hope you guys subscribe to the dude's YouTube channel. I'm just telling you. He is the GOAT, in my opinion. Yes, Brooklyn Hardball. Ondu is building its own chain. They announced it today at the Ondu Summit. Their own chain. Yep. Rick Cisneros says RWA is going to be so big that one chain will not rule them all. Correct. That's a good point, brother. That's a good point. It's a good point. Will not rule them all. XRPL and Ondu working together will only help the TVL on the XRPL. 100%. That is without question. And what I'm saying is we hold XRP and we hold Ondu. And it doesn't have to be a zero sum. As retailers, we can take advantage of both. And as people participating in DeFi, we can participate in both, right? Contact Fu says, looks like you can't lose with the Ondu platform. Thousands of RWAs in one place. Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see how they move forward. But I'm telling you, I was reading that thread, Contact Fu. I'm like, that didn't sound like a TradFi person. That sounded like a DeFi person. Sounded like a DeFi person over there, Ondu. So, does it become the Aave in the RWA thing? I don't know. Legendary, is Ondu doing a pre-sale? A pre-sale of what, bro? The Ondu token's already out. It's been out for a minute. So pre-sale of what, Legendary? Or are you saying that now they have their chain announced? I don't know. Are you saying because they announced a new chain? Don't know. Rick Cisneros says accountability. The SEC fired the lead lawyer, attorney Jorge Tenreiro, who sued Ripple. Did they fire him or did they move him? Reassign him? We're supposed to cover that. Reassign them to the IT department. So that's what accountability would look like. I think that's what you're saying. The SEC fired the lead lawyer attorney Jorge Tenreiro, who sued Ripple Labs. In my opinion, he needs to be disbarred from law for blatantly lying to the U.S. justice system. Yep. Contact Food says Andu has got DeFi spirit all over it. Yeah. Yeah, they're doing a new chain. They're doing the Andu chain, but what would be the pre-sale of the Andu token? I mean, the token's already out at 1 or 2 billion in market cap. Unless they're gonna, they're talking about RWAs for gas, which was interesting. I mean, they got, what did they have? They got USD. Oh, the other announcement, by the way. What's Omni, Rick Cisneros? Rick Cisneros says Andu and Omni are going to become a part of the 10% buckets. Interesting. Interesting. So, the other announcement is I got a little clip that they announced that the old USG, this is the Andu people, old USG is coming to the XRPL, and USDY is going to Stellar. They're bringing the USDY onto Stellar blockchain. Oh, Omni, you're talking about Arthur King. Is that what you're talking about? Arthur King from Omni Network? Rick, Brooklyn Harbor says Omni is the guy who built part of the XRPL. Is that what you're talking about? Did Omni Network say anything about okay, I get it, as well, because the Omni chain is supposed to be about interoperability and RWAs. I gotcha. Yeah, I gotcha. Undo, Omni, Axelar got no more money. So it's looking good and doing it. I hear you, bro. I hear you. What's going on, B? What's up with you, bro? So, yeah, it's interesting. Omni. Anybody got any Omni tokens from the Omni network? I don't have any of their tokens. I think I'm just going to add, because you can't own everything, for crying out loud. People think you can own everything. You can't own every single thing. That thing is $4.71 for the Omni token, and only 17 million of the 100 million is out. That's not great numbers. That's not great numbers. 81 million market cap. That's awesome. It's 91% down from its all-time high. The Omni token went to $53. Only 17 million. That's not a good number. I wish that was higher, but it's 91% down from its all-time high. Interesting. It's its own chain. Yeah, so they're going to be doing things with Undo as well, probably. But interesting tokenomics there. Interesting tokenomics. Brooklyn Harbaugh said, throw some coffee money at it. B says, I'm grinding for that DNF. I hear you, bro. I hear you. Listen, that Undo thing is their own chain. I mean, they are, as far as, I don't know, I feel like they're the kind of like they're like the premier, they're leading over centrifuge, right? Yeah, they're leading over Centrifuge and others kind of in that RWA space. Let's go to DeFi Llama and find out what's good real quick. Let's see. DeFiLlama.com. Let's go to DeFi Llama and see what's good. Share this with you guys. They got an RWA thing, don't they? Just like a flat out RWA. I thought they just had an RWA thing. Yeah, treasuries. Let me see. What did I look at before? Oh, okay. I looked at narrative trackers. And then you go here, analytics. Analytics? There's RWAs right here. We got 30 days. Yeah, we got that. Categories, 22 categories. Got them all there. All right. All right, let's look at RWAs. Analytics? Bitcoin, then RWAs, Solana, SocialFi, Oracles, memes, AI. Wow, look at the big time difference. 43%, right? This is narrative. It's kind of like the popular narratives in the space. Let's click on this RWAs here. Rentberry, checks token, mantra. I don't know how to keep with mantra in here, but they do. As in an RWA play is killing the game. I can tell you that in terms of price movement. OUSG is there. You can see how the token is not. Here's Ondu down here at 4 billion in TVL. XDC network. So yeah, so things like Maple and Goldfinch, you can see they're behind Ondu. Centrifuge, I don't know if Centrifuge has a token. Algorand. Defactor, sold all my Defactor tokens. Polymesh, reserve rights. Anyway, so it feels like interesting. Go back here. Go. Yeah. Feels like the RWA thing is kind of catching speed for sure. And Ondu is just going to be like, again, they're ahead of Centrifuge and Maple Finance, other kind of Ondu RWA players with a TradFi, little thing to it. It feels like Ondu is leading that way. Brooklyn Harbaugh says that's huge for Ondo having their own chain. I'm about to go broke on that one. I hear you, bro. Contact Fu XCN, man. I'm so happy for the XCN holders who got some of that. I got some and I just was too impatient. Ended up selling it, man. I ended up selling my XCN. I only put like maybe like 170, 180 in it. I did that little $100 challenge that CKJ likes to do. Shout out to you, CKJ. I hope you're doing well, bro. And yeah, I ended up selling it. It was really kind of portfolio reallocation. Ended up putting it into other stuff. But that's like a 9X, man. It did just doing well. For the year, it's a 9X. Rick Cisneros says, Ondu, they are the real deal, having a conference in New York City with all the major big players coming to their conference and discussing RWA space and Web3 convergence. Yeah. Yeah, so it looked like they got Franklin Templeton and they got, they're the biggest buyer of BlackRock's BITO. The institutions may kind of consider them, that I kind of go to space. We got to look to see though, what is that going to look like for the Ondu token? Yeah, I'm not gonna get on that.
Not gonna be on.
Thank you though. Let's see, what is it gonna do for the undo token? Let's look at these numbers real quick. Oh, that's why I wanted to go to DeFi Lima, see if I could find undo somewhere. All right, so I showed you the 3-month chart. Sucks that it's on Ethereum right now, even though they're going to launch their own chain. 38% from the all-time high. For me, that's good. Like anything 30% or more, I think is awesome. Now it's about a 15x from its low of 8 cents. So I mean, we're in this thing, right? Yeah, so that's good. But and it's funny too, because we didn't put a lot in initially. So it might be one of those things just like Sui and Solana. We just want to keep adding to it. But you're right, Rick. Having those major players at the conference is significant. But I was hoping, I don't know if you were on when I was going through their thread. I was hoping that they were going to speak to more of the Ondu token itself. I mean, but they didn't in the thread. They didn't speak to that. Let me see if I can find. Let's see. Let's see if I can do something here real quick. All right. So just on a quick thing, Uniswap V3 wrapped ETH, those are not great numbers. Okay, TVL 6.18 million with wrapped ETH and Ondu. That's good numbers. That's a good. No, yeah, later. Yeah, that's good numbers right there. TVL 6.81, APY is 231, Uniswap V3 0.3% to in and out. That's pretty good. Let's check out. That's really good. Let me see here. Let's see if we're going to check out some correlation here in a second. All right, so what we got? Look at that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Right? And so, yeah, you take a certain portion, let's say $500, 250 in the pool, 250 to hold the Ondu, little insider deal there. And, got to learn the rebalancing skills to get into the pool. All right, so what we got? Risk rating by exponential.fi. Interesting. Gas fees, operating on Ethereum, a lot of times is you can't really come with small amounts because of the fees to rebalance. When you need to rebalance, you got to take that into consideration, right? You get to exit the pool, rebalance. You got to do a little rebalance technique, not the typical rebalance. So you got to factor in the fact of the fees and that this thing is on freaking Ethereum. So let's look at, but those numbers are awesome. So these numbers right here are really, really awesome. Uniswap V3. All right, so let's look at the correlation real here. Real quick. But you really got to come with a big, I think, I don't know, 1,000 or more, I would say, in the liquidity pool So 500, 500 because of the fees, man. You know. All right, what we got? It's not okay. 1 year, it's not bad. You want 0.5 or higher, 1 month. That's not great. That's not good. It's not a game changer, but you would like it to be better. So in 7 day, 0.65. So that's not that bad, but you're gonna have to you know, get you some notifications or something about when you're out of balance here. But those numbers look good. I mean, the TVL and the 24-hour numbers look good. You know, you got this not bad, but look at this wrapped ETH Bitcoin. Man, that's a nice pool there to get into. I mean, 0.8, 0.3 on the month. That's not bad, but 7 day is pretty good. Again, it's not a game changer. Doesn't mean you can't enter the pool, but there are some factors you want to look at when you enter some pools there. But that's pretty good right now. Base API, 230-some%, right? 2 tokens, in my view, 2 assets, 2 assets in my view that you would want to hold. Yeah, pretty good. All right. Brooklyn Harbor. So actually, XCM was a sleeper for me. I didn't see it coming. Yeah, I heard you, bro. I don't know why people build on Ethereum. Yeah, I know. So guys, do me a favor, hit that like button. We always like to have just as many likes as we got viewers in the stream. I appreciate you guys checking in for sure. David Schwartz seemed to be, I don't know. Yeah, we showed we hopped on the Ondu Summit a couple of times, Rick, and to check out David Schwartz. He just seemed to be just kind of quiet, just kind of hanging out, not really saying a whole lot there. I don't know. But anyway, Legendary says, dang it, Siege, you know better. So, I'd like to listen to the David, but he didn't seem like the quiet. Like, you got a lot of stuff to say. Why not say it? But this is a big deal as Ondo Chain, for sure. Man, that liquidity pool is sweet. And trust me, those numbers, there's a reason why it's 6 million in TVL on that thing. And it ain't just the APY. It's because of the assets. That is the first significant factor to assess, in my humble opinion. The assets. Remember, this liquidity pool, you're going to go, you want them to move together, but if they don't, you're going to be 100% in ETH or 100% in Ondu. And are you good with that? Most people will be like, yeah, I'm good with that, right? But again, it's on Ethereum. I feel like, I don't know. It feels like you gotta come with a number that's going to be, that's going to not take away from you rebalancing and every time you're having to pay the transaction fee, right? You don't want your rebalancing transaction fee to be taken away from the gains that you're getting. If that makes sense. I hope that makes sense to you. All right, so that is there. Let's do let me go over this to the summit again, see if David's gonna say something. I mean, I don't know. But Rick, did you see this is the announcement of the new chain. It was interesting for sure what they had to say, but it was definitely legendary. It was and Hydro, it was definitely DeFi speak. It was not TradFi speak. Someone asked the question, it's the same thing that I was asking. With the launch of the Ondu chain as an institutional grade L1 for RWAs, will the Ondu token be the primary token used for transaction fees? Doesn't sound like it. Staking and governance on the new chain, or will a different asset serve as the native token? And it sounds like to me they were saying RWAs. And this person says here, gas for transactions can be paid in RWA. So that was my question as well. And Henrique. I mean, they're pulling a page right out of Uniswap, right? Uniswap Labs going and building the Unichain. But So anyway, the thread was really, really, really interesting from Andu about this. But it feels like 6. It felt like a lot of DeFi speak in this thing. Incompatibility with DeFi, cross-chain liquidity fragmentation, high and often volatile transaction fees. They're talking about DVNs as well in this blog post. They talked about DVNs. And I'm trying to remember where I heard the term, the verifier network, the DVN thing, where I heard that from before. Was that from Axelar? Was that from Flare? I mean, dude, they're talking about enshrined oracles. They're talking about the financial institutions, the TradFi, acting as the validators for this chain. A lot of DeFi speak, right? Permissioned validators, okay? Permissioned to uphold integrity and compliance with institutional requirements. Validators on on-through chain will be permissioned and subject to continuous monitoring. Specifically to mitigate their engagement in malicious MEVs. So just scalable and secure data feeds via enshrined oracles. We know we heard this is from Hugo or Flare Networks, right? Beyond validating blockchain transactions in Ondu chain, validators will also publish key off-chain data, including asset prices, interest rates, market indices, and the like, ensuring that only accurate, trusted, and real-time information is published on chain. I wonder if Flare Networks is going to say something about this. These oracles are going to be permissioned, and I don't know if this is going to be like decentralized enshrined oracle stuff. But anyway, native omni-chain messaging and bridging. Omni-chain natively incorporates the Ondo bridge. Okay, and here's this DVN thing. Primary security will be provided by the Ondo chain validators. Then these are permission validators that run their own decentralized verified network, with additional DVNs used at higher transactions amount. Ondo chain will also make it easier for developers to create natively omni-chain apps by acting as a source of truth. So in any case, it's again, for me, it was a lot of DeFi speak here, so we'll see. B says, I don't know if you talked about it already, but did you see XP Market and that AI collaboration? I think the Shen from XP Markets is hooking up with Root Network. And Root Network has this new AI that they're building out. It's not new to them, but it's a newer type of AI that they're building. I forget what it's called now, but this is all feature verse Root Network. They're doing a kind of a next level thing with the brains, with the ASMM brains, and a new kind of AI. So yeah, I've talked about that before, but Shen is hooking up with them on the Root Network to do some stuff. So in the AI space, and I think it's going to be both the Root Network and the XRPL because of XP Market and what they're doing on the XRPL. So that's kind of how I see that. But that is very, very interesting. Ondu. I'm looking at that. I'm going to add to our position for sure. But it would be nice if they just said something about the token and what are they going to be doing with this token? Why they have the token? And if they're going to be making the RWAs the gas fee thing. Let me see. Do they cover gas fees here? They just said that they were volatile. Um, inadequate network bridging and security. All right, it says here, on many of, it says high and often volatile transaction fees. On many proof of stake blockchains, transaction fees are paid with the network's native token, e.g. ETH on Ethereum. Because the price of this token can be volatile, the cost to complete a transaction can sometimes be quite high. Compounding this issue on many chains, the same token is also the same one staked by validators to ensure network security. Since validators bear risk by doing this, validators require compensation for doing so. This compensation must be paid by the network from money earned from the transaction fees it charges. It says here, further increasing transaction costs. So, I mean, they're addressing this, the issue. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what does this mean, again, with their own chain. What does this mean for the freaking token? And they're not really speaking to the token. All right, so let's read this part here. It says something about the token here. Ondu chain will provide native support for tokenized RWA such as Ondu GM issued tokens. Ondu GM, I don't know what that is, ensuring they are seamlessly integrated into all aspects of the blockchain's functionality and ecosystem. RWAs like Ondu GM tokens will be used to secure the network. Is that what they call Ondu GM? Anybody know? I don't know what that is. I've never heard Ondu GM tokens before. And maybe I should have, but I've never heard of them. So RWAs like Ondu GM tokens will be used to secure the network, the oracles, and the bridges. Ondu GM token will have their collateral verified on an ongoing basis by the Ondu chain validator nodes. The Ondu chain DeFi ecosystem will be designed to support corporate actions and other unique requirements imposed by RWAs. And finally, Ondu GM tokens can natively be used for margin. So that's interesting. $469,179. The Ondu GM token. So in addition, Ondu-chain will enable asset managers to create omni-chain RWAs and manage them effectively. Ondu-chain has been designed for a multi-chain world, providing institutional grade security. Interesting. This is an interesting move to me. Ondu-chain will support the staking of Ondu GM tokens and other high-quality liquid assets. By supporting staking of existing assets that are widely held and already pay a yield, particularly RWAs, Ondu chain can achieve high security at a relatively low cost to validators while offering additional yield opportunities like from transaction fees, for example. So I got to find more about what does Ondu GM token mean, because I don't know. What's going on, Move Accordingly? How are you, bro? Appreciate you checking in. So B is saying that is the name. That's the name of the Ondu token, Ondu GM token. Oh, you're talking something else there. Never mind. Okay. So yeah, I gotta figure that out. What is Ondu GM token? Lawrence Williams is in the building. What's going on, Lawrence? How are you, bro? Ondu GM token. And when you go to the site, they don't really say anything. Let me go to this docs here real quick. So again, I don't know. It sounds like it's the same token. That's the only token that I'm aware of. See, I see OUSG token. Oh, they got the token bridge here. Ondu token bridge is on the audit. Okay, Ondu token tools. USDY. Ondu chain. Okay. They got that on here. The new docs, global markets, Ondu chain overview. Ondu token converter. Most Ondu tokens are yield bearing. This yield can be paid out in either distributing form or in an accumulating form. For distribution, the yield accrues daily via the additional tokens distributed to your wallet. The redemption value per token stays stable at $1. So, but that's the USDY and other stuff. So you can convert any time between these two forms with no slippage using the Ondu token converter. Interesting. Ondu V1 Vault. These are just again, this is all institutional stuff. So I have to look into this Ondu GM token. I don't think I'd find anything if I Googled it, but Ondu, maybe that's what the GM is, Global Markets Token. So it should be Ondu then. Tokens issued in the Ondu Global Markets platform. Okay, so that's what it is. Will be each backed by a 1-to-1 and an underlying asset. So they're going to use the Ondu token for staking. This is yeah, that's what it's going to be. So by the way, let me share this because I know I just talked about it. They're bringing their other products, so OUSG to the XRPL and USDY to Stellar. Let me see if I can share that. I forget who shared that with me. Um, um, yeah, I don't have it here, but I don't know why I would put it somewhere else. That's the word on the street. We already know about USSG on the XRPL, but I watched a video with the guy talking about announcing that they're going to bring USDY to Stellar Lumens. And I don't know why I don't have it where I would want it. But anyway, yeah, that's the word on the street. That is the word on the street. So global markets, so it's the same token. That's a good deal. Yeah, life is good. Move accordingly. Hope you're doing well, bro. So is that what you're getting, Rick? Is feeling like it's a permission validators. It's permission validator. So Rick is saying so Ondu chain is not a decentralized network, but has a permission chain for compliance. That's what they said. They said permission validators, right? Said permission, the validators were permission validators, right? And they were given a reason for it, but that's what they said, right? Permission validators. To uphold integrity and compliance with institutional requirements, validators on on-chain will be permissioned and subject to continuous monitoring. Bringing capital markets on-chain promises global accessibility around the clock, liquidity, and unprecedented financial innovation. In recent posts, we discussed how our global markets platform is being designed to fulfill that promise. However, as we began fleshing out the design over the past year and spent time with institutional partners like broker-dealers, we realized that today's public blockchains just didn't have the features and capabilities necessary to truly make this vision a reality. That's why over the past year or so, we've been working hard to develop not only the global markets platform, but also the infrastructure to support it. All right. Incompatibility with DeFi, cross-chain. Institutional regulatory concerns. So listen to this. In order to bring this new world to fruition, we must have traditional asset managers participate, but many regulated institutions are precluded from transacting on public blockchains, limiting the capital flows into the on-chain ecosystem. While regulation differs by country, many concerns relate to an inability to hold or transact crypto assets and the risk of malicious MEVs. This is what same thing Ripple was talking about, right? Historically, many of the issues such as network, okay, awesome. However, it is precisely the closed off nature of these networks that nullifies. Historically, many of these issues such as network security and institutional restrictions have been addressed through the use of permissioned blockchains where all validators are known entities and the entire system is closed. However, it is precisely the closed off nature of these networks that nullifies what we see as one of the most compelling promises of blockchain technology. An open, global, and transparent financial system that can be accessed permissionlessly by developers and investors alike. What's needed is a solution that combines the best of a public and permission chains while addressing all the issues above. On-chain has been designed from the ground up to do exactly that. So they're saying that the permission thing looks like to me is going to be more on the validator front, but it's going to be a public blockchain. It's kind of like the DUNL list for Ripple, right? Kind of like that. That's what it seems like to me. It's kind of like that, Rick. That's kind of what I'm getting. It's permissioned. So they're not going to let anyone be a validator on that network, right? Just because you have the equipment and the hardware, right? That part of it is going to be permission, but the blockchain they were saying for builders and investors is going to be public. That's kind of what I'm getting from that. All right, fam, look, I'm going to wrap it up here. I appreciate you guys checking in. Interesting stuff. Again, check out The Modern Investor on YouTube. He and I both believe that XRP is going to print some millionaires. I couldn't agree with that sentiment for sure. This cycle, don't know about the prices. I'm not going to talk about the price. I don't know. I still got my same price range of $12 to $26. I still think that's where we go. I still think we get the 12. The $26 is not financial advice. This is what we're thinking in the CryptoCeej home. Yeah, that's kind of how, we feel like some significant $10 stuff is a real deal at $10. That's a real deal. 20 cents to $10, that's not bad. So in any case, that's kind of how we're seeing things. I appreciate you guys checking in. I'm going to end this live stream. Do me a favor, hit that like button on the way out. If you didn't get to do so on the way in, It really helps it with the algorithm on YouTube, help to get the channel out to more people or so. And again, if you happen to be in that 55% or so of people that are hanging out, listening to and watching the CryptoCeej, do me a favor. If you've been enjoying those hangouts, please consider subscribing to the channel. We're on a mad dash to 9,000 subs by the end of this month, and you can help us get there by just hitting that subscribe button. And don't forget to ring that notification bell so that you know whenever we go live or whenever we upload a video. I'm going to end this video like I do all of my videos and remind you guys of this. Old money doesn't want you to win. But that's okay, though, because you and I, we're already winning. And I would ask you to consider this, or perhaps ponder the idea or notion of living your life permissionless. I'll talk to you guys soon. See ya. Bye.